Patrick Stewart is used to flying the Star Trek Enterprise, but he's going to have to take it into warp speed to land Rangers anything this season. But you know what? His first call of duty was to call out the disastrous decision at Hampden Park on Sunday. He's done it. And yeah, let's dive into his comments. Hell, let's dive into Phil's comments. We all thought this guy's first call of duty would be sacking Big Phil, but it just shows you the difference a few weeks makes, because Big Phil's still here. But could the SFA be out on their ear? Because the decision was bad.
Yeah, Big Phil's going nowhere. Patrick Stewart might be the new Rangers CEO, but Rangers are certainly not new to controversy, and it's another controversial Old Firm derby that is ending up with one side demanding answers from the Scottish FA. One side probably wanting to hear the audio, probably wanting to know what went down, what didn't go down. I'll tell you what went down. Tierney went down and he never got a penalty.
He didn't get a penalty. We saw audio get demanded last season about the handball with Alistair Johnson, and I believe it was Seema. I mean, honestly, what did that get, Rangers? There needs to be something more than audio getting dished out. And I seen this Celtic fan account, I can't even remember their name, they were like, oh, we were told to move on with this decision. It was some cup final from about, I think it was like, it was either 2002 or 2003, right? And it's like, if you have to go that far back to point score, I think your point system is invalid. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the fact that you have to go that far back to get a decision that went against you, then, I mean, things can't be going against you that badly.
Absolutely not. Clement, he said he had received hundreds of messages about the incident. He said that in the post-match presser. I don't really know whether or not to believe Phil in that regard. But
100 messages, like what, in the match, he's not even left the stadium yet?
Yeah, and I mean, I think another key thing to hear from is actually what Liam Scales said. And Liam Scales said, and I quote, I thought Tierney foul was outside the box. Are you surprised that Liam Scales has said that? No, I'm not. I mean, he's a Celtic man. Of course he's going to say that he thought it was outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, he's hardly going to come in and go, you know what, it should have been a blatant penalty. I mean,
and you know what, we should have. He was at the darts. Don't know if anyone's seen the images, but Scales was at the darts, Carter Vickers was at the darts, and a few other Celtic players, Greg Taylor, Arnie Engels. I've seen a few signs that were holding up 119. There was also another sign that said Merry Christmas, and then you had 4 stars at the bottom of it. What word could have followed Merry Christmas there?
Could be Hans.
I'll tell you what, I think it could be. For the Celtic team, but here it's all hearsays and maybes potentially at the end of the day. But let me tell you something, brother. The incident is expected to be analysed on the Scottish FA's monthly VAR review show, featuring head of referee and Willie Gollum. With the show being filmed this week, the Scottish FA also publish a weekly...
Willie Gollum?
Yeah, no, but I call him Gollum.
Right.
Lord of the Rings, you got a problem with that?
No, I get
it. Right, also publish a weekly assessment of key match incidents, KMI, occurring in games where VAR is operational. The review panel vote to determine if on-field decisions and any subsequent VAR intervention was correct. Each panel consists of 5 members, 3 independent members with established careers within Scottish football, such as coaches, former players and members of the Scottish football media, 1 representative from the Scottish FA and 1 representative from SPFL clubs. Yo, there's no actual comments for Patrick Stewart. It's simply he has demanded answers and he's arrived at Ibrox, and obviously, considering it's his first day, there's a lot to do. I mean, like I said, a few weeks ago, might have been sacking Clement, but it seems that's off the table now. And it appears that the past couple of weeks has saved Clement's bacon, to say the least. But, well, what do you think about Big Philip Clement before we move forward on Patrick Stewart? Do you think he saved his job for this season now? Or do you still feel like if they lost the game on the 2nd of January, he's gone? Or do you think he's got the season no matter what now?
Depends how form go. I mean, I think if Rangers continue what they're doing and they keep picking up wins and they overtake Aberdeen and then maybe they come up short against Celtic, I mean, he might be given a chance. But if the form dips between now and that game, if Rangers drop further behind Celtic and maybe the performances aren't as good and the effort and the players trying narrative, if that has disappeared by the January game and then Rangers lose, then I think it will be... I think it should be, shouldn't it? I mean, not many managers survive this points deficit to Celtic.
No, and he also has the worst Old Firm record since World War One. Now, if you're not familiar with the World Wars, World War One was a hell of a long time ago. I mean, it's over 100 years ago. It is literally like 110 years ago that it started. You know, I mean, the Titanic had sunk 2 years prior to World War One beginning. So when you're going back that far, it's like seriously, like what are we doing here? Football or ping pong? You know what I mean? But Patrick Stewart, he's arrived at Ibrox on Monday. He has done the correct thing here, in my opinion. It says here that he's asked like, "Oh, what happened? I want an explanation." Is it demanding answers, or is he simply asking, "Will we get it? What answer will Rangers be satisfied with?" Honestly, I don't really know. The SFA are never going to hold their hands up and say we completely got this wrong and we're sorry, Rangers.
But you know what? Like, what's the best you can get? It's not like they're going to replay the game. It's not like they're going to say, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, you should have had a penalty. So the next time you play Celtic, you've got you're one penalty up from the get go. You get a free penalty." Like the best scenario here is they say, "Yep, we made a mistake, and you should have had a penalty kick."
Just like that Johnston handball, right, where they gave the wrong explanation, despite the fact it was offside, and they just claimed it wasn't a handball. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear some explanation that someone commented on our video about the handball incident itself. Like just some bullshit. Oh, the foul started before the box. They'll spin some web of lies, or they'll just completely, brush it under the carpet. They're not going to come out and say we got that completely wrong. We're sorry. They never do that.
No,
there's no accountability, and there's never been accountability. It's not going to change with this game.
Maybe they do. Come up and hold their hands and go, we made a blunder there, bizarre call, we got it wrong, 100% our faults. Doesn't change nothing.
No.
It's almost a bit of a waste of time.
It is a waste of time.
I just got on with it.
Like, what needs to happen is a complete overhaul of like the actual system. People need to get sacked over this.
I'm not for this. Like, I'm all for calling it out, but I think I would just rather that kind of approach where the board called out and went, see, asking for answers. You ain't got to get any answers you like.
No.
See, rather than pussyfooting around, why not just be like, you know what, that was a disastrous call and it's cost us a cup.
But you know what it is, right? Obviously, it's not as big as the Scottish Cup, but due to the 118 thing in play, it was massive. It's like, this is one of the biggest games this season, and they fucked up. People should lose their job over that. There's people that work in retail that lose their job for a lot less than this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, when it comes to the biggest game in the country, in a cup final, should the person in charge of VAR not lose their job over this? I think they should. Look at how people lose their job for misdemeanours, man. Breaking a wee bit of protocol and their wee diddy job on £12 an hour. And this, whoever's walking away, Neil Doncaster, man, on what, 500 G's a year or whatever he's on. He oversees all this and it's fucking just all hunky dory. It's no right.
No.
It's no right. Big Neil, no right.